Payments are no longer just transactions. They are rapidly becoming intelligent, adaptive, and deeply personalized, which is also really important. As AI reshapes how money moves across borders, devices, and digital ecosystems, new opportunities are emerging. In this episode of ATP, we investigate how agentic AI, new payment infrastructures, and automation at scale are converging to redefine global commerce. We really want to know, how is AI transforming the global payment ecosystem, and where is Ant International positioning itself in this shift? What does Antum Copilot and now Copilot 2.0 unlock that moves businesses closer to agentic commerce? And how can AI-powered innovation remain trustworthy and accessible for merchants, consumers, and small businesses everywhere? To cover this today, ATP is joined by Jiangming, Chief Innovation Officer at Ant International. Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm good. I think very exciting event. Meet lots of the partners, clients. Yeah, so far so good.
It's so good. And Singapore Fintech Festival 2025. Amazing. Okay, let's jump right in. What are the biggest shifts did you see in global payment ecosystems today? And how is Ant International uniquely positioned to lead this transformation?
I think a few things. We talk about a lot of innovation from the e-commerce to the AI, from the digital arts to the metaverse. But what do we believe that the AI is not just transaction. AI is the power engine for all those innovation. So for the past 2 decades, we see there's a lot of involvement, and the payment always involved when the human interaction got involved. So from the PC to the internet, from the desktop to the mobile device, right? So you see tremendous growth and the shift of the payments. So today we see the similar trends. So from the experience to how people they become more intelligent, the new device, the new engagement, and each of them may trigger new opportunities, and which also will trigger the new innovation on the payments part.
What kind of new opportunities do you think you see? Like you're right. I remember when I had my first PC. I remember when it first got connected. I remember when it first was a WAN, so we could then go to London with stuff like this. I remember when the first smartphone came out. And I remember when the first iPhone came out. And at every point there, you saw this just massive explosion of innovation. Where do you think you're going to see it now? Like, what is Ant's strategy when it comes to AI and how it shapes the payment landscape?
I think maybe I want to be more concrete.
Go for
Let
it.
me give you a few examples.
I love great examples.
Yes, I think the one example is the people talk about AI or agentic payments. So for me, this is not just technology upgrade. I think more important part is the people interaction will be shift because of this one. So historically, for example, people go to the search engine, people download the app, and all the interaction happen from the search engine, from the app. So now with those the intelligent agent, so the agent really understand you, and the agent can be really personalized, and they know your desire, they know your need, so the recommendation can even happen before people typing.
So what does it look like to me? Because you said it happens even before I'm even typing, right? So let's just say I'm on my mobile phone, which is where most people are transacting and interacting today, right? What does it look like to me? How does it know that I want to do something? You know what I mean? And what's my involvement?
Yeah, let's use an example. So today maybe you just finished your access and you just want to have some drink. Yep. So the way things work is you go to maybe Google, you go to the Yelp, you go to any search engine,
right?
Find maybe coffee shop nearby,
right?
Then find the rating and you do the navigation. So if the agent always guides with you, the agent will know you just finished your access.
Right.
It will make the drink recommendation directly. It will pop out the navigation. Right. So you don't need to do anything. The way the people discover things, discover merchant, discover good, all shift because the interaction change.
So is it more like a human interaction? And let me give you an example and tell me if you think that this is the same way. Let's say, you're right, I finished my exercise, right? Let's say I have an exercise partner and we live near each other. And every day on the way home from exercise, the partner was saying to me, let's get a cup of coffee. So now if my exercise partner's not there, you're suggesting that my phone is going to suggest to me, you should go get a cup of coffee.
Yeah, maybe the coffee is already ordered.
Right, maybe the coffee's already ordered. But here's the thing too. Will it know what's the right way to say this? How will I allow it to know? Like I go to the same coffee shop every single morning, almost at exactly the same time. And the ladies that run the shop don't even ask me what I want. I just pay for it. They're like, they just look at me with that face like, same? And I say, yeah, same. So how will it know at the beginning? Like, how will it learn? Do you know what I mean? How will the agentic AI learn at the beginning what I actually want? Because you said the coffee may already be ordered.
Yeah, I think it's similar that you interact with the service of the coffee shop. And that maybe that the service didn't know you at the very beginning.
Exactly. I had no
but,
idea.
But after you come to the coffee shop many times,
Yep.
they know your taste, they know your preference. I think so does the AI, right? So you need to start using them since the beginning.
Got it. And is this, so we mentioned before we started recording Anthem Copilot and Copilot 2.0. Is that part of this infrastructure? What is that exactly?
I think it's related, but a little bit different. So the business growth, but the payment world is complicated. So the complicated is from the beginning to the end, from how you find the right partner, how you find how to set up the legal entity, how you deal with the tax, and even the payment service is complicated. Right, the different payment method, there's chargeback you need to worry about, and you don't have a team, you don't have the payment expertise, right? So the payment world is complicated, but payments is needed to really empower each business. So what we believe is that we can build an AI agent, and we have lots of expertise, and we can embed it, all their knowledge, their know-how, their expertise, everything into the AI agent, and that can become your partner, solve all the complexity to help you set up the business, and even for the global expansion.
Right. So we talked a moment ago about what the customer experience was like for this AI. What is it like from a business perspective?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I'm maybe a Singapore company.
Okay.
I want to expand into Southeast Asia.
Indonesia,
like
let's
Indonesia.
say, Vietnam or wherever.
And then I need to maybe ask a law firm. So what's the requirement if I need to set up an entity for my company? Yeah. I need to ask the tax consultant, right? So now I expand to 2 countries. How I should file tax,
right?
So which tax I should report to the Singapore regulator,
right.
Which one is Indonesia,
right?
And I need to find there's so many choices for the payment partner in Indonesia, and which one should choose. And you just ask many parties. Now imagine, right? So AI agent have all the knowledges. You don't need to go anywhere else, right? You ask this agent, you have all the answers. Then even beyond that is it can do everything for you.
So I've thought about this for a long time. The AI knows everything, right? And the more it's there, the more it can learn. And particularly agentic AI can actually go out and do things for you, right? But let's say the regulations change for companies set up in Vietnam. How does it know that? Or is it just like constantly, is that agent's only job to constantly be searching for that information? And as new data comes in, it redefines what it knows. And then when the next guy or the next business comes in to ask it a question about how to do company setup, how to do tax law stuff, it'll just automatically know it and adjust it?
I think that will be exactly where AI can help a lot, because it's a really boring job for human, right? So you need to take lots of time, read all the regulation change. But for the AI, it can be done in second, right?
Right. So where does trust come into play here, right? And one of the reasons why is like, it gives you a lot of power. And with great power comes great responsibility, right? We know this, right? But with AI, you can have things like deep fakes. And it's hard to know, like, if it's me or something that's just pretending to be me. In the payment space, just from an agentic standpoint, right? If an agent is out there making payments and doing things, how does it know that the agent it's interacting with is the right agent to be that interaction? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you handle that part of the knowledge chain? Is that fair?
I think that's a very good question.
Thank you.
I think that there's a few things I want to maybe highlight.
As many as you want.
Yeah. I think the first one is the AI does not only bring the opportunity, it do bring lots of challenges.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think you mentioned deepfake. So actually starting almost 2 years ago, we detect the first attack by deepfake.
Really?
And
can you give
really
me
happening.
Like, what happened?
So it's because normally all those fintech company or banks, and we do the KYC process to really improve the experience. Most KYC currently is done online with your face, with your identity.
I do it to pay so can I tell you, when I pay my rent every month, I have to look into a camera, blink my eyes 3 times, and smile with my teeth showing. I did it yesterday, right? And I'm worried. Like, I know I'm alive, but like, where else does it play out like that?
Yeah, I think exactly.
Go ahead.
I think that the deepfake technology currently is really cheap because like the tool is everywhere, and the fraudster can make a fake ID, fake like the face with very like the lower chip
And
like,
fake
cost.
video, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So actually, last 2 years we have been spent lots of effort build the anti-deepfake technology. What we believe is that only the magic can beat the magic. So
Yeah,
it's-
for sure. I
yeah,
love it.
it's-
I'm going to use that if you don't
yeah,
mind. Only the
yeah,
magic can beat the magic. I
yeah,
like it.
even like the human cannot tell the difference.
No.
It's so real. So actually, we are really proud about what we accomplished in last 2 years. We believe we have the most comprehensive solution to prevent that from happening. And actually, there's a conference called NIPS. NIPS is a really famous conference.
Okay.
And for AI.
Go ahead.
And it's going to happen this year in San Diego.
Okay.
It's very famous both for industry and academic. There's a test, actually contest competition about the face recognition.
Really?
And we joined that competition, and our solution was ranked the world #1 in our area.
And what was the criteria?
Criteria is the many things.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So whether you can detect people from different skin, whether it's it's fair enough for the different races, and also there's
but
the
sure.
deepfake, right? So whether you can really detect that accurately, something like that.
Right. Do you? So I feel like I can, and I'll never be as good as a machine, right? Because it is kind of a little bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? It's an arms race, right? Because every time someone tries to create a deep fake, you have to make more magic. Every time you make more magic, they have to create a better deep fake, and it's never gonna. And you're not like done ever, right? But in a way, it's kind of fun,
I
right?
think that's happening even in
All
the
the time.
traditional world, right? So even with the payment,
Sure.
we make the protection for the payment risk. It's always the better. We need to make sure our technology is advanced than any faster.
Right. So here's the other big question is, how do you balance this really, really fast-paced innovation, right? Because it is super fast-paced with just like the integrity of the system. Do you know what I mean? Because you're constantly iterating. How do you make sure that during this iteration process, nothing breaks down?
I think we just make this is the #1 priority because we are a fintech company. And the risk and the safety is really the #1 and the foundation for our business.
It has to be, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think I told you this before we started recording. I worked in financial services for 2.5 decades. And if they didn't trust you, it didn't matter. They would never deal with
Maybe
you.
let me add a little bit more like the context.
Go ahead.
Because you asked the question about the challenge of the AI. And what I just talked about is only the deepfake. Actually, there's more challenge
Tell me
than the
more.
deepfake. So we all know that the large language model have the illusion.
Sometimes, yeah.
Right, they have something they
Right.
imagine.
Right.
So now we're using the AI for our fintech like the area. We need to make sure we are responsible for the response, even if it's generated by AI.
How do you do that?
So actually we create a ring fence, and we need to make sure the content is appropriate, and we do the cross check with some of our real time data, make sure it's accurate.
Before you give the answer to an external party.
Yeah, before we give it to our end consumer.
Right. So before you either approve a payment or do something, you're like, let's double check this just to make sure. Okay. Which is what, again, I always like to make these analogies, right? Because technology is great. You're right. And sometimes it can be like magic, but at some level, it has to mirror for me an experience that's fundamentally human and analog, right? Because sorry, go ahead.
Especially in the payment and finance world.
Absolutely.
I think it's about the money and the people care about that.
Yeah. Like if I lose my sandwich, I'm not so bothered. But if I lose my money, I'm pretty bothered. I'm pretty bothered, right? Apparently, Ant International announced that it's cooperating with Google and Visa when it comes to agentic protocol, which is a big deal, right? Because that's the thing that manages the whole thing. What innovations are you working on or exploring in agentic payments in these collaborations? If you can give me a little bit of detail, 'cause it's super interesting, right?
Yeah, I think like the few things. What we believe that the commerce cannot be done by a single company. In the real world, lots of collaboration is needed.
Yeah, no one succeeds alone.
Yeah, so when we move to the AI world or agentic world, we need the agentic to be able to collaborate as well.
Yeah.
So that's a very natural move. So in order to really accomplish that, there's a few things really needed. The first thing is via a smooth experience, right? So then this can provide the best experience for our customer. But more like importantly, you need to make sure it's safe. So it's actually bring the new challenge on the technology. And also actually it define a new way how we define the liability. Because originally, if you purchase through like a merchant, right? So it's your intention make the purchase, and if it's really like from the foster, you can file a chargeback.
Right.
Now it's in the AI world.
Right.
AI will do the purchase on behalf of you. Will make sure it's your intention. It's not from somebody else. It's really what you like looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, in the same way, there is a human analog to this, right? And that is, I give $25 to my brother to go buy me, I don't know, like some gum and some candy. And when he gets to the store, he's like, they don't have exactly what you want. But I think I can replace that with this and that with this. And he calls me and says, are you sure this is what you want? So he's my agent in this case.
Same thing.
Same thing though,
Like
right?
you hire an assistant, now just the assistant become a robotic.
So can I ask you this too? When big companies, right? So I actually think that successful companies have very strong cultures, because with a weak culture you can't succeed. Ant has a strong culture. Google must have a very strong culture, and obviously Visa has a very strong culture. When you get together, these collaborations, right, are driven by like maybe slightly different outcomes. How do you work together with other big companies and ensure that the culture is still maintained?
I think the most important part is that we share the same mission. So we believe this agentic commerce is the future, and it have lots of benefit for our customer.
Right.
And we all agree this cannot be done by a single company. We need to join together. As far as this direction is aligned, I think everything else is just the detail you need to figure out.
Just to figure out, where do you think agentic commerce is going to be in like 5 years from now or 7 years from now, if you had to look out and think about it? And because you're the chief innovation officer, so you're constantly thinking about this, right? What do you think it looks like?
I think it will save lots of your time. for
Save
your
lots
life.
of my time.
Yeah.
I wish
Make
somebody
your
would.
life like much easier.
I wish somebody would save lots of my time. Can I ask you this too? Payments, though, right? Because the payments again are moving money all over the place, and the more connectivity we have, the more cyber risk we have as well. How do you think about that in the context of agentic commerce and agentic payments?
Yeah, I think that's the part that we actually try to figure out. I think I already mentioned like there are few like the things include the liability, include like the how to against like the fraudster. I think the cybersecurity is actually also a very key like the component. Actually, we try to align on the what's the standard. We try to apply all our like the best practice to it as well.
Right. Do you, because you operate globally, do you move best practices around the world, right? Are there things that you've learned in Asia that you can apply to the United States? Things that you learn in the US that you can apply to Europe as well?
Actually, we learn a lot by like the partner with like the different like the partners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem focused on democratization, which is really important to me as well. How does it manifest itself? Where, like, what sectors are you looking at when you think about democratization, and how important is it for Ant to make sure that SMEs, micro SMEs, get access to enough of the services so that they can also benefit from this agentic AI?
Yeah, I think because the AI is a highly renowned technology, and for the past years, it used to be a privilege only for the big company.
Yeah, because it was expensive to run,
Yeah,
right?
and now because it's so powerful, it have lots of impact. We really believe we want to make it more inclusive, and we want to trigger more collaboration.
Right.
I think there's a few things we did.
Go for it.
So I think that in the different tier from the model, actually we have been invest the most advanced time series model,
Right.
and we just make it open source.
Oh, okay.
And we hope that everybody can enjoy it. It can benefit for both the industry and the academic. And we collaborate on the protocol, as you mentioned.
This
We
is with
discussed.
Google, with Visa,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And even like our internal AI application, we build in the same platform, because what we believe is the AI should be as a service, and make this service also available for our partner, so they all can enjoy it.
Yeah, so one of the things that we did when I was at Goldman Sachs is, and again, I think you'll see the analog here, but I'm curious how you think about it, is if a new hedge fund came up, right? It was like a $5 million hedge fund. We would give them access to all of our tools in the hope that they would turn into a $500 million hedge fund, right? So we knew we weren't going to really super benefit down here, but if we stayed with them and helped them and democratized their access to the technology, that they would benefit enough to grow. Is this the same mentality?
Very exactly. This is the same thing. We want to help our customer to grow, and eventually we can like grow bigger together.
Yeah, because if you can help an MSME become an SME, and then an SME become like an MNC, everybody wins. Like, a lot of people talk about AI for sophisticated automation, But do you see this more than like an automation tool?
I think there's a difference
Tell me.
because like the automation tool, you need to make the command,
Yeah.
and the tool is executed based on your command. But what do we believe? This AI tool can become your assistant, a partner. They can know your demand even before you make the command.
So here's something that's super interesting to me, right? Because I think about like regular generic kind of AI. It's kind of like an intern. You just joined the company. You don't really know much about what we do. And, we talk about AI getting trained, but can I proactively, again, tell the AI what the Agentic AI, what my coffee is. So even before we go to the shop, it already knows. Is there a way to proactively train it before it starts learning from me just based on experience? Do you know what I mean? Because my intern, I can tell what to do.
I think it's the same way. Like you hire a team, or you hire like have a partner, or you even like you hire an assistant. Right, so you want your team to be more proactive.
Yeah, completely. I don't want to have to micromanage everything.
You didn't want to have always the top down.
I'm not interested. I want to save time. We talked about it already.
Yeah, I think the same way. So you need to build a team. Just the team is the AI tool.
So can I have a bunch of internal AI agents working internally just for me?
Yeah, I think that's what we try to looking for. Yeah.
Really? So like I can have 2 agents, like I just need to get this stuff done every single day. You know what to do here. Get the data from outside, give it to the subject agent. That agent then goes and does something else and takes care of that task for me. And I can train them to do that. I got to get a couple of these like tomorrow. I need this. I need this right away. So I like to say that AI promises abundance in computation, but still it's hard for some people to trust. What will it take for business to just literally say, I don't need human to check it anymore, because I think that's still going to be there. But remember, you said before, you talked about the ring fencing, right? But some of these models, maybe if they're not ring fenced, need to get ring fenced. But what other methods can we do to increase the trust factor?
I think that's the few things we try to do. One thing is like we still try to inject like the checking for the customer's intention.
Right, but every customer is different, right?
Yeah, different customer. When you make a command to your agent, make sure that your intent with some condition, and we make sure this intent, the intention is embedded with the whole the AI flow. And we also always reinforce the content, make sure that the AI didn't just do something randomly.
Right.
It's under control.
Right.
And also the third thing is because AI is so powerful, we need to make sure that we have the right the service control, security control, the right permission.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you calibrate this? This is what I think about too, right? So again, getting back to the intern, I don't give them access to all the data right at the beginning, because I'm like, I don't know what they're going to do with it. But the better they perform, the more I trust them, the more access and trust that I have for them. Can you calibrate the Agentic AI's behavior, and then at some point just say, I'm going to let you do more, I'm going to let you do more, I'm going to let you do more. And now there are no issues. Just do this whole thing for me.
Yeah, even though you hire an assistant, maybe this become your superstar employee.
Yeah.
You still make sure as a company, you want to make sure your process have the auditable, controllable.
Exactly.
I think we will do exactly the same thing for the AI. Even though we become more trust with the AI, we still make sure that we have the audit process, the control process, make sure that this is traceable, it's under control.
What is the biggest thing you're getting from the Singapore Fintech Festival this year? What's the experience you're feeling?
I think the people is really excited about the journey, and the people is looking for more opportunities.
Yeah.
I think after talking with the many partners, many guests, I think that we have more confidence about what we are doing. Originally, we thought it's just our own plan.
Really?
Now this has become a shared agenda with many the common ideas.
So what surprised you about the topics of conversation that people were bringing up with you?
I don't think it's really a surprise, but it's more a conversation.
A confirmation.
You got more the alignment, and the people is agree on the shared direction and even the vision.
Yeah, it gives you a lot more confidence to move forward. Okay, Jiangming Yang, Chief Innovation Officer at Ant International. Thank you so much for doing this today. Your first podcast, you were amazing. What was that all about?
Hey, thank you. Yeah, thank you, effort.